So England were poor in this Champions Trophy, and a lot of the analysis is, why were they so bad? Where to here for English one-day cricket? With an assumption that they are always going to be a good side. But the fact of the matter is that the last few years have been a big exception. For most of their history, England hasn't actually been that good at one-day cricket. I'm not saying they won't be good going forward, but I think it is worth looking at the history. Now, just looking at the World Cups, the last World Cup, as you can see up there, 2023, disaster. They went in as one of the favourites, finished 7th of 10. And I've made my own code up there. That is awful, the purple colour. Now, 2019, glorious exception. Winners at home by the barest of margins. But even though the final was heartbreaking on New Zealand, England had been the best side in one-day cricket for several years. And it all stemmed from the World Cup before that in Australia and New Zealand in 2015, where England missed the quarterfinals, even though really it was set up for all the big nations to make the quarterfinals. That was the catalyst for them changing. And under Owen Morgan, they then became the most aggressive side. They played with great freedom. They scored 480 odd against Australia in a one-dayer in 2018. And they were fantastic and duly won the 2019 World Cup. But it wasn't as though that poor performance in 2015 had been in isolation. Going back to the earlier World Cups, again, 2011, I've classed that as awful. They lost to Ireland, a humiliating defeat to their near neighbours Ireland. They also lost to Bangladesh. They only had 3 wins in the tournament. And then in the quarterfinals, Sri Lanka absolutely obliterated them. Keeping on going back, 2007, wasn't quite so bad. It was bad rather than awful. Again, though, they missed the semis, getting eliminated in the Super 8 phase. Had wins over Canada, Kenya, Ireland, Bangladesh, and West Indies. So very disappointing tournament there. Then back in 2003, another bad one. Now they forfeited to Zimbabwe, 3 wins, 3 losses, and their wins consisted of wins over Namibia, Netherlands, and Pakistan. Keeping on going, 1999 in their home event didn't make the Super Sixes. 3 wins, 2 losses, wins over Kenya, Zimbabwe, and Sri Lanka. 1996, they only finished 4th in their group, 3 wins and 2 losses, their wins coming over the UAE and the Netherlands, and they were thrashed by Sri Lanka in the quarterfinals. So with the exception of 2019, they haven't had a win in the knockout phase of the World Cup in all that period. You've got to go back to 1992 when they were runners-up till they last won a knockout game. And to be fair, in the first 5 World Cups, they did make the final 3 times. It has helped that they've hosted it so often, 75, 79, 83, 99 and 2019. I do think England will return to be pretty good at one-day cricket soon, but I think it's just worth looking at their history hasn't been so great.